Peter, you are the director of C3, and C3 have vast and very significant knowledge in microalgae, and we have been able to borrow a lot of that expertise to further our engineering research. So thank you very much, Peter.
But I think the opportunities are for us to work with your centre, the Centre for Technology and Wastewater, that allows us to approach bigger problems. And that's where the opportunities that have arisen between us is allowing us to address big industry problems that in the past I haven't been able to address, and I don't think you were able to address, but together we can work on bigger challenges. And I think that's exciting.
I agree, Peter. The name of the challenge is actually embedded in the name of the center, C3, the Center for Climate Change Cluster.
It is, and I think as of the media and the opportunities that are happening with climate solutions are dramatic, and every day there's new industries, new government saying, what do we need to do, how are we going to solve this? And I think this has been exciting for us, that we've been chipping away at the smaller problems, but now society wants big problems solved. And unless we come together as groups, so a scientist and an engineer working together can address a big problem, but then a scientist and an engineer with a designer gets even larger. And then when a science engineer, designer and a policy person, this is where UTS can have impact. And this is the vision that I think the university wants us to grow into, where we work as teams that are across different disciplines. And this is the big problems, the big impact that the two of us, are now achieving.
I'm very motivated by our first prototype. It showed that the technology works. We've been able to bring together science knowledge and engineering technical know-how so that we can turn wastewater and CO2 into valuable product. And I think we started from our individual interest. For you, it's microalgae, how to produce microalgae. For us, it's how to deal with wastewater, nutrient recovery.
Yep.
And we end up solving a much bigger problem, which is how to then capture the CO2. And we don't just store the CO2, we utilize the CO2 in the form of microalgae biomass.
Yep. That,
in my view, we can then use that to convert into bioplastic, into construction material, and in even jet fuel that one day we can fly the aircraft around the world.
Exactly.
In a sustainable way.
I think, as you said, it was bringing us together, allowed us to solve circular bioeconomies. And I think groups around the world are struggling trying to understand, what is a bioeconomy, how do you make it circular, and how do you bring together waste streams and make a product? And wastewater technology, algae together, CO2 carbon capture, and then making, as you say, plastics and industry products. This is the demonstration of what a circular economy is. And I think governments and industry are going to be looking at what we're doing going, now we get it. Now this is the kind of models that we need to work on. So we're providing the technology and the solutions so that then society can actually have sustainable bioeconomies. It's very exciting.
And I believe our solution is comprehensive, because when the two centers work together, we have the benefit of getting some exposure to those problems.
Yes.
And then we can actually use our engineering knowledge to then have to solve those problems. And likewise, we have problems that we need to understand, and the more we understand through the science that you can provide, then the more optimized our solutions could be.
I think this is a real evolution in what an academic will be at a university. And I think UTS is a fantastic place to be breaking those old molds and creating a new style of industry-facing academics.
And I also think that UTS have the right balance in exchanging the knowledge within the university, but at the same time protecting the IP for our industry partners as well as for ourselves.
Absolutely, and I think that's why the industry partners keep coming back to us, because they understand that we work well with a range of different IP issues, and we actually can maintain clarity so that we don't have cross-contamination between projects.